Hello, Mazi. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Mazi Pat. Um, Good evening from my end. Greeting to all Biafrans all over the world. All hail Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra, Mazi. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you. I greet all Biafrans and I greet all lovers of freedoms and haters of freedom, lovers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and haters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I greet all of you because I know you will be around in this very evening edition of this very program. As we proceed, my name is Solomon Peter. You are all welcome here tonight. We actually started in the morning at my end, and we spent some few hours and then decide to call it off. And we are back here again in my end. In my end here, I didn't even know that the day has break in my end. In my end here is 12:30 in the morning. So
Hmm.
I withdraw my statement for saying good evening. I should be saying good morning to all of you, all the viewers. You are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mazi. You're welcome. And yesterday there is a program, there is a audio we are supposed to play, but we couldn't play that audio because of time constraint. But before we proceed, Mazi, I would like you to talk to our viewers, encourage them to share this video like it and tag their friends and invite their friends because you are their new mentor. So I plead with you to do the needful.
Okay. Borrowing from Mazipat. Please, viewers, can you help us to share this video? Yeah, we want everyone to get ready for these conversations, and God will help us to be able to talk to ourselves and motivate ourselves because iron sharpeneth iron. And as I may proceed in this very program, I will also let us to know that um, we created black and white. We created black and white page. So in this black and white, we will be discussing more on economic issues because there is, as in every struggle, there is also survival in that very struggle. Nkwu nọ na mba na-eghere mba nri, you know. So we want to be discussing a lot of things that could also help to enhance our survival in this very struggle because we know for sure there is a serious gang up against us. And in 1966 to 1970, there is an economic blanket over Biafrans. And people also narrated that our people the most of our people that died during the war did not die at the result of gun or bullet. They died at the result of hungry. So even in this our struggle as it is now, for God to have helped us through the leadership of IPOP to have come this very far, there is every need also for us to be discussing on a survival in the midst of the struggle. In the struggle, we need to articulate survivors, means of survival, means that money will can be able to rotate into hands. So we will be discussing this issue in black and white. It is basically economic relief. It's basically on economics empowerment. So we will be turning to the black and white sometimes to be able to educate our peoples on this. So, having said that, we need to move forward at this very time, thanking God Almighty on the behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the leadership of IPOP to have granted us an opportunity like this as for us to aim our voice and to make our voice to be heard among people among community of nations, and even worldwide. So we really thank them so much for the opportunity. And we will continue in discussions of what we started last night, talking about our agitations and also the legitimate of our struggle. So we need to understand it. We need to understand our struggle, that our struggle is based on our right. It's based on our right. The right to live, the right to exist, the right to protection of life and the protection of property. So these are human rights, basic right that everyone have. And when this right is being tampered, when this right is being taken away, then people has the right to agitate. And that is why we are agitating, because our right has been taken away, the right of the indigenous people, our right as an individuals, because it is our right to have a running water. It is our right to have hospital. It is our right to have roads. It is our right to have schools. It is our right. It is our right to have a workable environment. It is our right to have job. It is our right to choose who is our leader. So once this right is being taken away from people, then they have right to agitate. And this is the reason why we are agitating. And nobody has the right to stop our agitations until the issue in which triggers our agitation is being addressed. And without it being addressed, then there is no power, because it is in international law for human rights. So our right is being protected by international law. So therefore, if anyone tamper with our right, we will have the right to demand it from that very person. So we are legitimate. So we are very, very much legal. So anybody who is trying to put illegality in our activities, that person is number one terrorist. Anybody who try to make our activities to look illegal, such person is a terrorist. Whether the seat of government, whether any authority, to have looked at us demanding for our human right and says that we are illegal, then that person is a terrorist. So that is why we are here today. We are going to play a very short clips, which we were supposed to play last night, but we are not able to do that due to time. We will play it and we will be able to analyze along with the things that one of our brothers says in that very video. And this is why we are doing this, is just to empower you as a person who is in these agitations, that people should not be putting word into your mouth or making you to look like being in this agitation or agitating for your right is illegal. So that is what we wanted to encounter in this very program, to ensure every Biafran watching that it is legal for us to agitate for our right when it's being trampled on or when it's being taken away. Thank you
So,
very much. Over to you,
Mazi,
Master Pat.
we've seen some people say that we have the right to agitate, but the way we are agitating is not the right way. So, people try to put stunt on our way at all time. I've seen some people say, "Oh, yeah, you people have the right to agitate, but the way you people are doing it." Some people say the way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing it. Mazi, is there any template? Is there any template set out for agitation, or is there any code of conduct, provided for agitators?
Yeah, you know that as we normally say here, a lot of people are very, very much confused. But here, why we are here is to make you to understand things that you did not understand from the early stage. When it comes to agitation, first of all, before agitation starts, something must have happened. Something must have gone wrong somewhere. Then, and when things went wrong and the agitation started, agitation has no template. Agitation is simply you showing displeasure or you making a demand over what should be yours that is being taken away. Agitation is simply when you are no more comfortable, when you cannot take it anymore, then agitation starts. So the only reason agitation starts is because at that very point in time, you need attention towards the issue that you wanted to address. So there is no template for agitation. So when something happens and agitation starts, then that is an attention demanding. That is attention demanding towards addressing the issue, addressing the things that trigger the agitation. So what happened here is that when agitation started and the attention when agitation starts and the attention start being given towards addressing the issue that triggered the agitation, then the person who is agitated need to be strategic, because you need to know exactly when your agitations is needed some certain response that could address your issue. So, but as long as attention is not given, then agitation continue. There is no simple way in which you can say that this is how agitation can work. Agitation could be civil disobedience. Agitation could be
As long as long
outburst.
as long as you don't go to the extent of taking human life in cause of this agitation, every other thing can go.
You don't go to the extent of taking human's life, because when you do, then at the sake of your own right, then when you step into another people's right, then it becomes a different problem
Yes,
altogether.
Mazi, it's also very important that we correct the notion, except on a situation where you now have to go on self-defense, like the way IPOB have been pushed to the extent that, IPOB have now decided to go on self-defense.
When you do,
And in
then
course of
at the
self-defense,
sake of your
yeah, Mazi, I'm hearing
yeah, go
myself.
on,
Yeah, so,
Mazi.
because when we talk about taking human life, it has to do with, taking your agitation to the point where you have to now go killing people without any form of provocation. But, killing people could also happen in course of trying to defend yourself.
Yeah,
Where
Mazi,
you, yes.
Mazi, defending himself is different from agitation.
Okay.
The self-defense occurs when you are being threatened, or when you are being threatened with life and death. Then you apply self-defense, which is part of your right to defend yourself. So now, if the people who are agitated are being threatened to life and death, then they have also the right to defend themselves.
Yes.
But the agitation does not come with trying to defend yourself, not until you are being pushed, not until you are being threatened with life and death. So we did not start agitation to fight anyone or to kill anyone, but we started agitation so that there will be
We pure civil disobedience as a strategy.
yeah, so that there will be roundtable talk, so that there will be discussion around the reason in which why we started our agitation, around the reason why our agitation. So that is why we agitated, so that we make sure that attention is given to the reason why we are agitating. And there will be roundtable talk, there will be a discussion. And when you are discussing, when you are agitating, and a room is open for discussion, then you need now to go into that discussion. You need to go into dialogue, as long as as long as it's instituted for to address the reason why you are agitating. So that is the point there. So, but when those people who are agitated are being pushed to life or death, then they have the right to defend themselves. It is the right of every woman to defend yourself. You cannot be watching another person to come over and take your life, because the dead does not appear in the court. It's only the person who is alive that appears in the court. So you have right to defend yourself, because now your destiny is in your hand. So your power to live is in your hands. So you need to apply that your right of self-defense in order to safeguard your life, in order to protect your life, in order for you to live to tell the story. So self-defense is applied, and it is a right of an individual for self-defense. So now I don't think we are talking on self-defense, because IPOP is handling this very matter of self-defense. This is our right, and every individuals involved in this must know that it is your right. You have right for self-defense when you are being pushed to the threat of life or death. You have the right to defend yourself. You have the right to defend your territory. You have the land to defend your home.
Yes, Mazi, somebody put a very pertinent question, very important. He said, Matthew K. Are you supporting IPOB stealing weapons from police officers and barracks? Mazi is just very funny. There have not been any evidence of IPOB stealing weapons from anybody. Accusation can be made, but you cannot make an accusation without any proof. You know, we saw in the news that Enugu State Police Command is pointing finger on IPOB that they disarm some policemen at the checking point. But there have not been any evidence to show that those people are IPOB members. We've seen armed robbers disarm police officers. We've seen armed robbers walk into a police station, steal arms there. And up to now, there have not been any evidence whatsoever pointing to the fact the police can make accusations as a result of the recent activities of things that have been happening in Enugu, also to cover their own misdemeanors, to cover their own crime. They point, you know, because everything since they start from the beginning of this struggle, they have been looking for ways, you know, to, you know, make it look as if IPOB is a terrorist organization. And they are ready to go to any length, formulate any story, create any kind of story to, you know, to make IPOB look culpable for a crime they didn't commit. Mazi, go ahead.
Yes, Mazi Pat, the truth is that that comment does not deserve attention, because he only he's saying what he felt.
No, he only
needed.
asked a question. He asked a question. He said, "Are you supporting?" You understand what I'm saying? So he hasn't.
Yeah, you know that I'm not.
Yeah, he hasn't put it as an accusation. He's only asking if we are supporting. So it's very, very important we clear the air on that matter, because not everybody. Some people will see it and say, "Yeah, so now IPOB got gone from police," you know. But the question is, are you supporting? You know, nobody is supporting. We can support people going to disarm police, but in a cause of self-defense, anything can happen. You know, so Mazi,
Mazi, you are 100%. You are 100% correct. So the person has no evidence to that questions or to that claim. So we cannot here said outrightly, IPOP is the law-abiding people. They are only working on their right. So, and nothing else. I said, as our leader, spring leader, Ojukwu said, our fight is not to be against anyone. Our fight is simply for survival, and which is the right we have for freedom and for survival. So we need to survive as people. We need to survive as nation. We cannot continue to accept intimidation from people who are trampling into our rights. So, but having said this, now in a law-abiding environment, IPOP can never go to police to take away or to steal the police arm. But if we come to self-defense, that anybody wanted to use police, anybody in the name of police want to use the government gun to kill an IPOP, if that IPOP members has the ability to defend himself as his right, he can disarm whosoever that wanted to use arm against him. So, but that is by the way, because in a law-abiding environment, there is no citizen, no good citizen will ever wanted to disarm police for any good reason. Okay, so but we will also have to know that Nigerian police and Nigerian armed forces, they have a lot of enemies in Nigeria. Just at least to say, in the north, they have 6 terrorist group which are enemies of the police and the enemies of the militaries.
And
Even
of the people. And even of the people.
And even the enemy of the people also.
Yes.
So police have so many enemies, despite that some of their boss are collaborators of these collaborators with all these terrorists. But the men on the floor also should know that they are enemy to too many people. They are enemy to too many people. So if people are taking their gun away from them, they have to be more careful this time around, because they have too many enemies who might want to take their gun, because they know that their power is that their gun. So they should know how to be keeping their gun so that people should not be taking it away.
Their power is in that their gun.
Yeah. So they should know how to be keeping their gun very well so that people will not be taking it away. So if they are going to roadblock, I will prefer advising them to keep their guns in the barrack. So then, and go to roadblock, because there's nothing they are doing in the roadblock with the gun. Because when the thief and criminals come, they also disappears like the way civilians disappears. They never use their gun. But whenever they go to roadblock without their gun, they only use their gun towards unarmed civilians. Yes. But when it comes to combat, none of them, they will disappear. They never use their gun. So it could be better for them, instead of them killing unarmed civilians by coming to roadblock with their gun, and now some of their enemies are coming to take their gun from them. Wouldn't it be better they keep their gun in the barrack before going out to the roadblock? Because they are only on the roadblock to collect, extract money from people. So they can be there, people will be giving them money, because that is why they are on the roadblock. They are never in the roadblock to confront any crimes, or to confront armed robbers or bandits or even terrorists. They never. Last time when they are sent to combat with the terrorists, their wife come on the street giving an excuse that their husbands are not trained. So some of these police that are also carrying the gun, they are not trained to carry the gun. So they should know how to keep it in their barracks before coming out on the road, so that those people, those of their enemies, will not be stealing or taking their gun away from them. So that is my peaceful advice to Nigerian police, because they are not trained to use gun. They are not trained. Their wife said it. They are not trained. So we know it. We have it as an evidence. And most times we see them shooting on armed civilians, shows that they don't know. They are not trained.
They don't even know who to shoot and who not to shoot.
Yeah,
they just open fire anytime it pleases them.
Yeah, so they are not trained with the gun, and that is why their enemies will keep taking the gun away from them.
So, Maz, now do we move to the point where we have to play the video?
Yes,
the audio, because that is the reason we are here today. That is the reason specifically for this program. So before we play this audio, I want all of you to share this video, please. Before we proceed, please share this video, because I hope that the audio will be very, very clear. Because you know, this audio was an interview granted a young man with sense of history, and he's told a lot of stories of things that happened before 1960, in 1966, before the Civil War in 1967, and he narrated some stories of how the Nigerian troops, even before the war, attempted to even come and arrest Ojukwu as the governor of the Eastern region. So, Mazi Solomon, Do I go ahead to play the audio?
Yes, Mazipat, we are here.
Okay,
I'm
let's see.
I'm keeping vigil today. I'm replacing you.
Okay.
You know, yesterday you keep night
I
awake.
can
You
vigil,
slept
and
around.
today you are the one keeping vigil.
Yeah.
No, Mazi, you are right. You are right. So let's see if this audio can play. I'm trying to see. Um, just give me a moment, please, because I'm now finding it difficult, to. Let's see. Just give me a little time, please. Let me see if this audio can play. Just, it's terrible. Let me see. Let's just give me a moment, please, Mazi. Okay. Well, Mazi, I'm finding it a little difficult to. It's just okay. Okay, let's see.
We declare king. Ojukwu still the governor. Biafra. Okay. The war never starts. Ojukwu still the governor of Eastern region. Now, as this thing is going on in history, Nigeria have agreed with some nations. According to the history, the Nigeria silent history. I school in the Bible here. When nobody tells us the history, but I thank God for the uncle I have. I can even call Chimalo Kilomani. I can even call money. I have them. I can call our people Professor money. So I have all these people around me. When this thing started, Nigeria, Chad, Mali, Central African Republic, Burkina Faso, and Egypt. When that
Mazi, can
started,
you
we are
improve
still
on
in
the sound?
Can
Can
you
you
hear, Mazi?
can you improve on the sound? Because yeah,
Mazi, this is the best you can get because the recording was done via a telephone to telephone,
okay,
not a direct recording. So,
okay.
but I can repeat some of the things he was saying. That before the civil war started, even before the Aburi Accord, and Nigeria have already planned, to invade the eastern region. That they recruited army from Niger, from Chad, from Egypt, and some few African countries, planning ahead to invade the eastern region. So, Mazi, do you proceed?
Yes, because we need Biafrans. We are here. Anyway, okay. Mazi, can you pause a bit? So
Yes,
let me narrate the reason why some of you have watched this video in the
yes.
internet, but the reason why we are playing this video in this platform is because of the few analysis that we wanted to give based on what this our brother is saying in that very interview, so that for you to understand that our struggle did not just fall from heaven. It started somewhere. There is where things went wrong, and since that very time, what went wrong was they were not able to fix it. Up till now, after some times that we have given, after the space of time that we have given, yet what was wrong was not fixed. Instead of them fixing what went wrong, it went worse.
Nigeria already meet them.
Mazi, go ahead, please. Sorry.
Instead of them fixing what went wrong, it went worse, even at this our period of time. In this time we are, it went worse. It become obvious that this is exactly how these people want us to remain. Because the only reason why we gave time is because we are told that things are going to be the issues will be addressed, that our issue will be addressed, and we all come down for complete 30 years. for them to be able to address our issue. And it was not addressed. The marginalization continue. The killing continue. And again, taking of the right of the indigenous people and the individuals continue. The government were not able to fulfill their promises to the indigenous people. And there is numerous number of things, because during the war there is an economic blockade, and it continue. They modernize it in what they call exclusive list, because it's still economic blockade. They modernize it in exclusive list. States, they create states. States were not growing. States were not independent. They created states, and the states were not empowered. Rather, they create a state in order to have a possible means of subduing the indigenous people into poverty, into suffering. So now you get to understand that we did not just wake up overnight and we get agitated. There is a compile of issues which was unaddressed, and this is what led to our agitation. This is the reason why we have looked everywhere in solving this problem, and there is no right left for us to solve this problem. The people we voted for them to go and represent us in Abuja as Senate, as a House of Representatives, they are not changing anything. When they arrived to the post, or when they arrived to the office, they started enriching themselves. That even these people who are creating this problem has also taken advantage of every instrument, including the instrument of governor office, instrument of Senate office. They are using every instrument possible to make sure that we continue in this suffering. That the reason why that leads to the first war continue. So that is why we want you to listen to this, the analysis of our brothers here, and then we will be able to put voice into it. So you will understand when people are trying to crab you down, when people are trying to make you to stop the agitation, so you will be bold enough to confront them at all times. When they are trying to use every means possible to calm you down, while the main issues are not being addressed today, they are talking of Igbo presidency, while the main issues of Igbos were not touched, have never been addressed. Then they wanted to use the instrument of that, presidential presidency to confuse you. And at the end of the day, our main problems were not addressed. So these are the things. Again, in 2001, another gubernatorial election is coming in Anambra State. They will tell you that it is time for you to select your leader, but that is not true. But they will say it is time for you to select your leader, but it is not true. It is their time to select who leads you. And this is your right that are being taken away, that where you have to determine who will lead you, then they deny you that right. They will choose who will lead you instead of you choosing. So all these things are just the instrument they are using to confuse us, instrument they use to make us to continue in this very suffering and leave the main major problem unsolved, untouched. So at this very point, we are saying enough is enough for them. So we have no option, because when we take them to their court, they will rule against us, because the court belongs to them. They choose who preside over the court, and they determine the judgment that court gives. So we have no option than to lay hands on our right, to agitate, over our right that have been taken away. So that is the only option that we are left with. In 1966, when the crisis began, from the coup down to killing of Aguiyi-Ironsi, our spring leader went all right round, seeking for solution to resolve this matter. There was no solution. He was left with only option. The only option. He was left with only but one option: to go to war.
But Mazi, when you say going to war, he wasn't the one that declared the war. He only declared the state, the Biafran state.
The truth remains that he was left with no option rather than to go to engage to defend the territory of the Biafrans. That is going to war. And if you listen to the analysis of Mazi, I'm saying this because I wasn't enjoying the sound that your sound is producing here. So it's better that I make this analysis, so that even if people can refer to watch that video, they can go and watch it by themselves. They go and watch it by themselves. But why I wanted that video, so that every one of us can listen. We can listen together here and see the process. Mazi, can you hold on? So we say what we want to say. We have short time. Yes. Now, I want Biafran to go and watch that very video.
So Mazi, go ahead, please. Sorry.
Yeah, finish what you are doing so that I won't repeat myself when you make
Mazi,
noise.
go ahead. I think I'm done.
Okay.
I've been able to take care of it.
Now, why we wanted to play this video is because I want to analyze here for you to see how we have been very peaceful people. We did not wake up any day and wanted to challenge anyone or wanted to engage with anyone into shooting or into killing. We did not wake up one day and wanted to engage anyone into war. We have been killed, and a lot of our people were killed in the northern area of Nigeria, and even in the western area of Nigeria. They all put their corpses in a trailer and they exported them to our land. We are in that very pain. Even the coup that caused this very killing was the coup conducted by the institution, by Nigeria institution, which was not owned by Igbos. Despite that some of people who participated are Igbos, but this is when you have a nation, the tribal issue shouldn't be played out in the first place. When something happened in a nation, then you will be portioning a blame to a tribe. When natural tragedy happens, nation should take blame for the very tragedy that happens. So it is the institution of Nigeria, the army of Nigeria, who's conducted that very coup. It's not any Igbo civilian man.
The coup was carried out in the name of Nigeria, not in the name of Igbo or Biafra.
That's exactly what I want to mention. It is carried out by the institution of Nigeria, not an institution of Igbos, not an institution of Yorubas, not an institution of Hausa, but an institution of Nigeria. And once it is an institution of Nigeria, the blame of the operators or the actors who come from different tribes, the blame should not go to the tribe which they come from. It should be treated as a national issue. It should be regarded as a national issue. So because of one general or two general from a particular tribe participated on a coup, which was based on a Nigerian institution.
Because then, even those who carried out the coup were lovers of Nigeria. Even if they are Igbos, but they were lovers of Nigeria. They are one Nigerianist.
Yes, Mazi. So that a general from people who participated in that national issue come from a certain tribe should not be the reason why you, instead of you addressing a national issue, then you are taking it to the tribe in which the man come from. Then that is where the tribalism of Nigeria, that is where the tribalism of Nigeria began. Instead of them to treat that coup of 1966 as a national issue, they took it to tribe. They started killing Igbos. They started killing Igbo civilians who were not there when coup were planned, who was not involved, who the coup was not even in intention to address any issue regarding Igbos. The reason for the coup was for addressing the issue of Nigeria. As of that time, it has nothing to do with Igbo as a tribe. But just because the people who participated were Igbos, some people who participated were Igbos, then they started killing Igbo civilians. To the extent that numerous numbers were killed. That women who are pregnant, they open their stomach and they take out the child and kill. What level of wickedness? Okay, even at that, then the man who took over after the coup was not even involved in the coup. But because he is an Igbo man, then they make it up that he must die. And in the way in which they killed that very Igbo man was very provoking. But when he was killed, the Igbos did not start killing the Hausas. No one. There is no Hausa man killed in Igbo land. There is no Yoruba man killed in Igbo land. We are very, very patient with Nigeria. Then Ojukwu took it upon himself that our people should not revenge on this. Rather, let us look for a way to resolve the crisis so that the killing of innocent people will not continue. Is there any wrong in somebody making this type of step? Is there anything wrong in somebody looking for peace where there is trouble? But on doing this, Ojukwu put all his argument very, very straight. And this, our brother, in his analysis, he put it very well. Ojukwu based his argument on the law of the land. That if you have killed, because if you look for anybody, if Ojukwu is tribal, if you look for anybody who will be the most angry person, it should be Ojukwu, who, knowing quite well that the man that was killed as head of state come from Igbos. But he did not go into that extreme. He still looked for the peace. So he followed all this process. This person who is saying focused on Enugu state, it seems like some people, they are still confused about our struggle.
Continue with what you are saying, because
very soon
we'll be rounding things up so that you can go to bed, because it's already late.
There is things you need to understand, because before people will begin to blame IPOP, they will never count on the peaceful agitation of IPOP. They will never. When they will start broadcasting and start telling the story, all these years of the peaceful demonstration of IPOP, nobody is going to remember it. Yes. Nobody will remember that IPOP has been peaceful in their agitations.
It's true.
So that is why we are narrating this story, so you will understand
Because,
it. So that
because we have been there before. We have been there
yeah.
before.
So
We have
you will
been there
understand
before.
that is not just today. Before the war started, Ojukwu has been peaceful all the while, despite the life threat. Despite the life threat from Gowon to bring him life or death. Yet Ojukwu remained peaceful with them. Even after they have made all their mistake in violence, because they are violent people. They are known as terrorists. Even as that, Ojukwu was still patient with them until they took him to court. He won them in the court. They refused to implement. He went to Aburi for resolution. After the resolution, he is happy and 100% ready to implement. But they refuse. The same people.
The same people who agreed in Aburi came back to Nigeria and disagreed.
The same people, they disagreed. The same. Okay, now to the extent of going to United Nations, where every options of peace has already been exhausted. It has taken every process to make sure that there is no killing, that every issue is resolved amicably, but they refuses to take it because they themselves, they know nothing than violence. What they understand is violence. What they understand is terrorism. So when all this peaceful means was exhausted in 1966/1970, then we resolved into self-defense. Because they are ready to kill us more. They are ready even to wipe us out of the surface of the earth. So we have no option than to go to self-defense. And there is certificate for this war, according to the analysis of this our brother, if that fact is being verified, that Ojukwu and Gowon, they went and they are given option by UN to vote whether to continue in peace, in seeking in a peaceful resolution or arm. Both of them vote arm, and certificate was issued for them for a war for 4 years. That after 4 years, Biafra will be allowed to go. But in that condition also, if Biafra did not win the war, that after 30 years, after 30 years, they will either be an internal agitators or international agitators. Of which that the condition in which the voting to arm was signed, there are still options. And the war ended up the way it ended up. And after 30 years, there was an internal agitators led by Wazirike. They failed due to the way of their oppression. And today again, there is an international agitators led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen. So that is where we are today. And why did I bring this story? I say this story because the tape was not played. But now I want to make my own analysis. Last night last night at the end of Biafrans and also Mazi Part, but it was in my morning. I spoke and I said that IPOP under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has divine mandate. That there is a generation of people choosing to restore Biafra. And there is divine mandate on them. And this is almost the last option that we have. If we loses IPOP, or if we miss the movement of IPOP and the agitation of IPOP, that means we have lost our last card. That means we have lost our last card, because this agitation is our last card that we are playing. And that is why you see so many forces are ranging against IPOP to bring IPOP down. But it takes you, persons like you, to understand the mission of these people who want to bring IPOP down. It is in your responsibility and in the responsibility of all Biafrans to understand that we are playing our last card. And there is no cause, there is no reason for you to play with your last card, to take the things that it is only the last option you have. There is no reason for you to joke with it. Because if you lost it at this very point, that simply means you have already lose it for entire generation. So you will know why you have to be more resolute. You will know why you will be more committed. You will know why you will be more rugged. You will know why you can never allow any person named by saboteur to bring down this very project. Because this project is designed at this time that it is designed not to fail in this generation. And you need to be aware that this is a battle that we must finish. This is a battle that we must win. We should stop playing. You can never be in the water and then soap will get into your eyes. All these people you see that are playing with their life, that are playing with their generation, we must stop them. We shouldn't allow them. We shouldn't allow anything to happen to this struggle. Some of us that occupied positions and the offices in IPOP shouldn't be playing, shouldn't be sleeping, because this is your last card we are playing. This is our last card. We cannot afford to lose it. So that is why every one of us has to be up and doing. Match the sabo bone to bone. Everybody that will try to sabotage this project, never you take it light with that individual. Never. Never. Because that is the only option we have that is left. Never you be friendly with saboteurs. Put your searchlight on. Most of them that are in the fold, most of them that are there in IPOP, most of them that are there mingling around IPOP, which are sabo. Because I'm telling Mazi Pat this afternoon, there is one person that always when we come here, he come to insult us. But the way that this person is carrying information, the inner caucus information about IPOP, you will be surprised. How are they getting the informations? Why is the information leaking out?
Out of the executive of IPOB, things that are not supposed to be known by anybody.
Why is it getting out? Something is fishing. That simply means that there is still implant individuals in the fold. We have to raise our intelligence very high. We must not give space for people who want to run down this project due to their individuals, their personal issues,
Interest or issues, yeah,
or their personal interest. We must not give them space. We must not give them chance. In your unit, don't give space for these individuals. This is your last card. We must get it right at this time. We must achieve it at this time. This is not a time to say, okay, let's leave it, we do later. Let's leave it, we go for Igbo presidents. When we come back, then we start. This is, there is no chance to wait. There is no time to waste. Time is not on our side. This is not time to say, let's play politics, then after our turn, after my turn, then we come back. There is no chance left. We are almost using our last card. If there's any time that the best of our intelligence is supposed to be in operation, it is this time. If there's any time that the world needs to know our best, it is this time. If there is any time that we need to showcase our best, it is this time. There is no other time. These are the very important message that we come this night to deliver to all Biafrans. You must fight this battle as the last battle that you own to fight for your people. You must see it as a battle that you cannot afford to lose. You must see it that way. The moment you begin to see it that very way, then we are now moving forward. In your positions as coordinator, as whatever things you are heading in IPOP, you must see this battle as the battle that you cannot afford to lose. So therefore, you begin to take
because
steps.
your enemies don't want to lose the battle as well.
Because they know that we are playing our last card. And in playing our last card, they know that once we lose it at this time, and they want us to lose it at this time, so that it will not rise up again. So, and that is where we are. And that is when I see people playing with this very noble cause. It becomes heartbreak, because there is no, you cannot use the only thing you have for free gift. This is the only chance we have. We cannot play with it. The best of us need to be showcased in this very time, in this very agitation. We cannot live, we cannot say that it's for other people. We must know that this is the fight for survival. That's what Ojukwu said. This is a fight for survival. And we have come to the final stage. We cannot afford to allow anybody sitting as governor to be an obstacle to this. We must decide what to do. Is either we go with them into that politics of blood or nothing. This is not something that we still wanted to give any chance for any bagger to be standing as an obstacle. We can never give a chance to any bloated bloated stomach man that is going as a senator to go and waste our time. We must not allow it. It's either that the right person or nothing. This is not a time to play. Everybody needs to bring out their. It's about collective survival. If we lose it at this very time, my brother, my sister, my fellow country people, Biafran, I never know when we can recall it back.
But
So that is why
Mazin they cannot have said it that if we miss this opportunity, that they will wish that we never came, that they will never see a generation like this again.
That is why we are here to lend voice to the voice of the man crying in the wilderness. We are taking it this way so that it will get into the score of our people. Even the saboteurs has to know. You must know for what reason do you want to sabotage this very struggle? For what reason? Then, if you understand what I am saying now, you discover that your reason is not enough. What you have as a reason to sabotage this very collective survival of your people, if you understand what I'm saying, you discover that your reason is not enough. You need to turn around now. You need to turn around from sabotaging. You need to turn around right now from whatever things you are doing to stop this movement, because even heaven know that what we have is only this last chance, and the heaven cannot also allow us to miss this chance. That is why they give mandate, because this is the only time left. Consider what I am saying. You will come to conclusion that any reason which you have for sabotaging this project does not worth it. Any reason ever, any personal reason you have for sabotaging this does not worth it. Not even for you to be the president of Nigeria, not even for you to be the governor of any state, not even for you to aim any political post. The reason is not enough. The reason is not enough to sabotage this project. We are losing it. Last night I told you that why Igbo cultures are going, why your cultures are going, Ijaw cultures are going, Yoruba cultures are going, why all these cultures are disappearing naturally is because there is no nation to institutionalize it. No innovation to those cultures.
Because
and you are going to
the things that keeps culture, the things that keep culture is number one, continuous preservation, which we are fighting for, self-preservation, Mazi. Secondly, continuous promotion.
Yeah.
And thirdly, continuous research. And these are the things that are not even available. There is no preservation, there is no institution that helps the Igbos, the Ibibios, the Urobos to preserve their culture. So at the end of the day, we are being invaded by foreign cultures that we don't even know where they are coming from. And that is why they are coming to institute emir in our land, bring Ruga and all the Islamic nonsense. Mazi, go ahead.
That is what is going to happen. The Islamic religions has already been institutionalized in Nigeria. It might be going slow in coming to the Western side, but it must definitely come if nothing is being done. That the same Sharia that you see that being implemented in Zamfara, we are thinking that it is a northern state issue, is coming down to Anambra State, coming down to a place you call Imo State today. It is a gradual process. Once something is being institutionalized, then there is a very broadly opportunity of extending that thing to anywhere, because this is an institution. They are doing innovation to it. They are doing research to it. That means in that their research, they included how that institution can spread to down to where it was not now. It is, as long as it is institutional, then definitely that is how they institutionalize Christianity. Remember, Christianity was not, there is nothing like Christian religions before. All that Christ left are believers, the people that believe in the book. Then eventually, because Jesus operated and they see his actions and acts, and when he left, when he was killed, which a painful killing that some people are sympathizing with his type of killing, and his news was all over. So when people now started seeing few people that are following his way, they are having pity on them. So for that pity they are having on them, whenever they see them, they say Christ-like. They are seeing them as people who are suffering. Even the Christianity in the Nigeria today, when did they stop seeing people? Because when you see people who are going to these Pentecostal churches and to all this, you used to pity them that they are suffering people. Even some of them used to walk with slippers. Even some of them used to wear one trouser for a very long time. That at a time, people are seeing them as people that should be pitied, as people that are wretched. That is how they see them. But the same wretched people, because this is an institution, they keep progressing to the point where this same Pentecostal churches has taken over prosperity of Nigeria. That when you want to talk about prosperity now, you have to look up to the church. And these are the church that are regarded before. And look at everybody now want to identify with the church. Even the big men are not going to church. But before, when people are going to church, people that are not going to all these Pentecostal church,
the big men are not just only going to church, they even go to buy front seat with their money.
So, yes. So as of that very time, people are seeing people who goes to church as, but because of that institution, they are able to expand to the point that big men now are the one who are owners of the church. They are now owning church. They are now struggling with the church. Church is no more seen as a place like as when we started agitation. They say we are miscreants. But a time will come when you will begin to bow down to this miscreant. When you begin to beg this miscreant.
The time is already here. The time is already here, Mazi.
We are just telling them because Mazi si na mgbe onye ji tete bụ ụtụtụ ya, asị ndị Igbo si wee kwu. Now a time will come, it will not more be look as a miscreant. They will know that IPOP is an engine, IPOP is a power station. And
IPOP have become an institution. IPOP have become an institution already.
So that is just the point I wanted to make here. They have institutionalized. This is Christianity was just a remnant, a very little of people who are believers of the book. Then when they see them, out of what they felt as to be, as regarding them as to be wretched people, as people to be pitied, they started calling them Christ-like, a nickname. They started calling them Christ, and as a mockers, as a name to mock them.
Typical example are the settlement of the Fulanis today, where they are building mud houses, thatch houses. You know, when you look at it, you know, it's like, oh, when you go to those sites, the location they've taken over in our land, it's like thatch, they build it like thatch houses and mud houses. But gradually, before you know it, they will start trading there. Before you know it, you see them improving on, because it has been institutionalized, taking over people's land.
Yes. So that is how they begin to call them a Christian. At a particular time, a king adopt it, institutionalize it, then Christianity begin to spread. That is how it gets to everyone. So the same way that Islamic movement Sharia law is already an institutionalized, it has already been institutionalized and also been institutionalized in Nigeria. So it's going to spread. You are not going to do the Igbo cultures that have not been institutionalized can never stop it. Your culture that has not been institutionalized can never stop it. So a time will come, this institution will override every other because they are doing it now. You think they are Boki, you think Hausa man, what did Hausa man know? But they are focusing on in that institution because that is the powerhouse. A lot of innovations is going to come. A lot of lobby is going to exchange hand through that institution. So many people, so many scholars are going to graduate and bring innovations to that very institution, in that very institution, and so is going to that you will not know
And not just Mazi, and not just that, more laws will also be made to strengthen this same Sharia institution that have been, that have been put into place.
They are already there. That in Constitution of the present Nigeria, Sharia is mentioned several times. So they are going to use it to conquer everywhere. This is how institutions operate. This is how the institution of democracy was formulated. This is how the institution of slave trade was formulated. This is how the institution of colonization. Yeah, that is how the institution of colonization was instituted, and they use it to conquer so many places.
To the point, Mazi, to the point that even the colonization have also been modernized to the point that even as a slave, you no longer have the shackles on your neck visibly, but you have them invisibly on your neck. So that even you, the slave, is even promoting your own slavery. That today we are even the one telling them to come and buy us.
So
we are even the one begging. We are the one begging to be sold. Mazi, go ahead.
Yeah. This is just the point we are bringing out here, that what make British to succeeded in Nigeria is through that institution of colonization. What make them to succeed in slave trading is that institution of slave trading. What makes them to succeed in democracy is that institution of democracy, well structured. People bringing innovation into it, people graduating in that institution. That today in Nigeria, somebody who graduated, somebody who is a judge, Sharia judge, is now presiding judge of Nigeria as a secular state. That is the institutionalization that we are talking about. When anything is formed as an institution, then that thing is ready to circulate. That thing is ready to expand. Look at the communist nations today, like China. It is an institution. That's why they survive. So our people, it has to get into the head of our people that there is no institution that is in charge of our cultures, our morals, our values. We can't find it in Nigeria. And the more we stay in Nigeria, the more those things are diminished, the more those things die natural death. That at a time to come, Anambra State, the people that are in Anambra State will start telling you they are not Igbos.
That they came from Futajelon.
Like so many people today who are Igbos are telling you there are no more Igbos. It's going to happen that at a particular time, the people who are Igbos might be reduced to 1 or 2 families. They will keep using the institution to shrink you. Because who is speaking for Igbos? Who is talking for Igbos? Where is the leadership of Igbos?
Have the Igbo culture been put into the Nigerian constitution does not even recognize the Igbo culture.
Our
They have not
value
even
system.
given the Igbos, they have not given other tribes the opportunity to even include their own way of life in the constitution.
So, Mazi, that is just the point we are trying to raise here, that our value system is not in any place. There is no institution in Nigeria protecting our value system. So our value system is going to die a natural death, that in few years to come, you will not see anybody to answer an Igbo. You will be looking for people who are Igbos. The more in Nigeria, the more the people who are Igbos are shrinking. That at a particular time, I tell you that people in Anambra State, when you say they are Igbos, they will tell you they are not Igbos.
Even the 5 states they are giving us today will reduce to 2. Because they have already cut the Igbo state into 5, from 11 to 5.
So, Mazi, we will continue telling our people this. Because we are losing it. So why I say this is for you to know reason why you cannot afford to lose this fight. Reason why you have to put any of your personal interests behind to win
Now,
this fight.
this discussion now will help you to evaluate the Igbo presidency and the restoration of Biafra. To now see, will the Igbo presidency preserve your culture? Will it save you from the future doom that is coming to the Igbo race and the Biafran people in general? I think we have to start winding it down at this point.
Okay. We have to continue because our people has to understand all these implications and begin to appreciate the stand of IPOP. Because some of us, we are in these agitations and we are agitating, and even somebody who at Igbo man could say he doesn't know why we are agitating. It's better we let you know that very soon, you will be walking around looking for who is Igbo, and everybody will tell you, I'm not Igbo. Even people who are Igbos, they will tell you they are not Igbos because they have been conquered by a certain institutions. And that is what is happening today. Can't you see how so many of us has been westernized?
That's true.
That is westernization is an institution, and so many of us have seeked into it that when you see nwa formula or in a konenu or na konana, when you are hi Mazi, this is very terrible. This is very terrible. Our people need to understand it. Can you see how we have been so much westernized? This is how we are going to also, in nearest future, we are going to be we are going to be all Sharia, Sharanized or whatever way. We are going to be Sharanized, that you will see the same thing that you are like, Nugwalsa, they are doing it at the north. You will see it at Onisha. You will begin to see it, and by that time, because you have been conquered, because you have already been overrun, you will begin to see it as a normal. But at the end, you discover that all your value systems has disappeared. The issue of Igbos will be in a fairy tale, in a history. Once upon a time,
The
As so
Igbos,
many,
the Igbo man will become once upon a time.
yeah, as some of us are telling our story today, when Igbos used to be Igbos. This is how they will keep taking you until you finished. Based on our analysis, where the Igbo presidency that they are talking today, and with this noble struggle, you will see that there is no reason ever there is no reason that is enough for anyone to abandon this struggle or for anyone to sabotage this struggle. This is our last card. We don't need to sleep over it. We don't need to sleep over it. We need to give birth to this nation, or else all our value system will diminished, will vanished in Nigeria. We vanish in Nigeria. Igbo going to be history in Nigeria. If we don't do something now, if we don't take side with IPOP, if we don't engage in this agitation and make sure that Biafra is restored, so that our value system can be restored,
Biafra will give you the opportunity to take up your real identity. I tell you.
So that we will be able to institutionalize our value system, and our race will continue as a people. Nigeria in the next 2 years will do us no good. Nigeria in the next 1 year will do us no good. Nigeria presidency will do us no good. When these things supposed to be fixed, they refuse to fix it. There is nothing you will get done there today to do, because already the whole thing is like a broken bottle. So many people will be seeing the possibility, but we are telling you no possibility. No possibility, no way. If Nnamdi Azikiwe was here today, he will be telling you what I'm telling you. If Abiola is here, he will be telling you what I'm telling you.
Even if Ajuna, who sold out, if Ajuna were to be alive today, a Sabo,
he will be telling you what I'm telling you. There is no mequatarism. It is a broken bottle. You cannot fix the pieces together again. Igbo na-asị na ọ bụrụ na adọbie wee zochie na ọ da-ahazi. No matter how you patch it, it will look, because they will continue to play this tribal politics. Even when you go, you want to do it right, a certain sections will be running you down,
because it's not in their favor.
Because it's not in their favor.
Every time you want to do it right, it doesn't favor somebody.
So we must know that what we need now is a new brand nation. We need a new brand nation. We need to start over again. My father told me, according to Igbo adage, onye lekata enu da, ijekwacho ebe isi wee bido libe enu wee bido again. We need to start this thing all over again. There is no way you can. Jesus put it in his own way language. He said, there is no way you can join an old wine to a new wine.
In a new bottle.
In a new bottle. There is no way you can join old cloth to new cloth. The strength of one will draw the other. These things are practical. Even our fathers, they have given us the wisdom. We refuse to use the wisdom of our forefathers due to we have a block ears. Even the Bible has given us even the wisdoms of God. Old cloth, you cannot. There is no way you will join an old wine to new wine. It can never work. There is nothing you can do to fix Nigeria today. The only thing that is the solution of the present Nigeria is disintegration of Nigeria, now giving birth to a new nation, Biafra. That is the only way forward.
Mazi, haven't even been able to identify that we are not one people. Because it's very, very important that even everybody, even including all the politicians, they tell you every day that we are not one people, but let us see how we can manage ourselves. Which means we recognize it that we don't share common value system in the first place. That recognition is there.
Somebody make a comment, said if he said if you lie, they should ask that if what I'm saying is a lie, they should go and ask President Goodluck Jonathan.
It's true.
My people, we need to be sincere to ourselves this time. This is the only time we have to be sincere to ourselves. Forget about riches. Forget about all this thing about money, buying house, having a bloated stomach, forget about it. A man was illustrated in the Bible. He said he went and get so many riches and keep it in his storeroom. And he go in and say, my soul, rejoice, eat. And he said the same night that he felt he has arrived, then the owner of the soul demanded his soul. The same night that he felt it have arrived. You know that all these riches we are pursuing is vanity upon vanity. The only joy you have in this very earth is to live your own God-given life at full. There is nothing you brought into this world, nothing you will take back. So therefore, the only joy you have is the freedom that you are able to implement, the freedom that you are able to give to people. And that is what the Bible put as setting the captive free. That is the only joy you will have. That the captive under you were made free. That the captive were made free by you. So we are going to be rounding up in this very program that we are bringing to our people here, that nobody should accuse you of doing wrong by you agitating for a nation, seeing clearly Nigeria has not been favorable to anyone, seeing clearly that Nigeria has taken the right of the indigenous people and has taken away your right as a human. So therefore, you have no reason to support Nigeria. You have no reason to be a Nigerian, because they have trampled upon your rights. And so therefore, in the mind, you should demand for your right through the agitation in which IPOB under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is engaged on. And every other agitators regard to this, that are having all these personal issues and personal interests, should withdraw at this moment. Let us not use this time to play. You need to be very sincere to what you are doing. There is no time to play politics with this agitation. There is no time to use personal interest to run this agitation, because we are playing with our last card. If we lose it this time, imagine the kind of slavery that, when you think back of what Igbo nation, what Biafra nation, what Ijaw nation was in 1980s and in 1995, and compare it to what they are in this 2020, then I want you now to compare it, the worst that it will become in the next generation.
In 10 years' time.
In 10 years' time.
A country that is not moving forward, going backward. When I left the zoo called Nigeria, people are even telling me that things are even get better then than now. There is no improvement, nothing to show.
That is the understanding that we want our people to have. We are not hurting anyone. In short, for the matter of fact, the IPOP under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu want the freedom of every individuals are trapped in Nigeria. We want to renegotiate Nigeria. We want everyone, Oduduwa, Middle Belt, whosoever you are trapped in Nigeria, you need to be set free. So that is why we are here, but we are more concerned about our people. If I talk about an Anambra state, I'm talking about river, I'm talking about cross river. If I make example with one, that includes all. We must understand this and know why we should be more fearless before our enemies, why we should remain resolute. And some of us that are having issues right now with the struggle, you should find, if you understand what I am saying tonight, you will find reason to reconcile your difference and pick up this mantle. You will see that your reason to fight the people in this struggle is not enough reason for you to do that. The reason you are sabotaging and leaking informations and discussions because you want the agitations to go down, when you analyze it and when you place it in the weight side by side with what I'm saying this night, you will know that the reason why you are doing what you are doing does not worth it. You just have nothing, just have no option rather than to quit from those negativities, quit from those personal issues, those personal things that are putting you into those tight corners. Quit from those things. Quit from it. He does not want the greatest joy, everlasting joy that you are going to have in Biafran land. He does not want it. All the agitators will have reason.
A future you are going to build for the next generation.
Yes, all the agitators should see reason to forget about their individual differences and start coming together. This is the fight to win. This is the fight to win. Everybody must see the reason to win this fight, because this is our last card. We cannot afford to lose it at this very time. So let your differences go. Every individual interest, let go. He does not want you for losing this very fight. That is my word to Biafran this night.
Thank you very much,
and I said that I will wish to come back here when Mazi Part will also decide to bring me back. My name remains Solomon Peter. All hail Biafra. Till I see you again, remain blessed. Bye.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you, my people. I want to say thank you. Please help us share this video. Tag your friend. Make it go around. We've been able to deliver our message today once again. And as soon as time permits us, we'll be back here in the next few hours, in the next 1 day, 2 days. We'll always come around to talk to our people. We don't have any specific timetable, but we are always with you. This is Biafra Television. We're also transmitting in almost all the Biafran platform. I'm transmitting on my own personal platform, Patrick PKM and Pat DK. You know, when you go there, you're going to see everything you need to know. I want you to help us share this video. As much as you appreciate us, the best appreciation is sharing this video and making it go around, so that people will be able to understand the importance of what we are doing. We've made great sacrifice. We've been able to cross a lot of hurdles, and we've gone too far to return back to where we are coming from in this journey. And we also need to understand the journey we've embarked on is a journey of life and death, and we will make a choice that victory shall be ours, because we've suffered enough. It is very clear that we don't have option. We don't have option that to make Biafra a reality, and we must put in everything we have to make that happen. And I want to say thank you once again. God bless you. Have a nice weekend and remain blessed in the name of Chukwu Kika Abiyama.